everybody, welcome to MD4 of the 2025 Trinity Team Cup. Tonight we have Genex Racing against Headway Racing League. Racing the GR4 Hyundai Genesis at Spa. 20 laps, weather is S06, time dilation of 1. All race compounds are available and racing slots are mandatory. Everybody who is watching, hello Whippy Sausage. Are the levels okay, Whippy? Okay, is that any better, Richie? How about now? Hello Whippy Sausage, are you back in the UK now after your trip to Switzerland? Cheers, Richie. So the guys are just having a 10-minute practice. Qualifying will be starting shortly. As you can see from the settings on screen, tire usage is 4 times X and fuel is 3 times, and refueling flow rate of 6 litres per second, but there is no tire wear or fuel usage in qualifying. Okay, nice one, Whippy. Hope you've had lots of fondue. Make sure you're back ready for Monday's GR4. Hello to GTR and CLR representative watching tonight. Just waiting for the go ahead from the race director to get qualifying underway. Awesome, Ricky. Nice to have you back. So the whole membrane is in practice. Chevrolet hold the course with a driver who trusts his seat. At GX Racing, we taught him everything he knows, so you're welcome, Membrane. Hamilton also had his teeth Gen X before moving on to ZFS and ultimately on to Midway. Salo Boy for Gen X, Sprinter for Midway, Benchy for Gen X, Service Engine for Gen X. ECT is in the bits, as is Nikki for Gen X, Sammy for Gen X, and Sparks Major for Medway. This has been given a 2-minute call by Red Director, so we'll be qualifying in 2 minutes. Obviously, I think there was some debate whether to try and do a little bit of fuel saving and eat out of one stop or to go for a 2-stop. But Medway have a myriad of A+ drivers and A drivers. It has some A drivers, B drivers, C drivers and Z drivers. This is our first year in the CCC, so we're still learning our way but thoroughly enjoying it. couple of 3 people at a time, but we shall get there in the end. So here we go, apologies for the delay. Qualifying. CCC 14 goes out first, follows to the second place of the racing, so it should no hindrances from either team. Salvador is away. Still on the head back. That's she's out first on that. Where is the outside? Benji. Sammy. And Nishi. A bit of a riddle showing how the last one. That's his allegory. Possibly a very side, so probably a little far back. Hello Andrew, nice to see you. Of our new members. Allegory coming through to set the first final lap. This will be LFC01. Originally bested by Charlotte since 1.4. Sammy, 1.3 seconds back. She's trained over the line for Medway, setting pole 1.1 seconds ahead. Shows the whole in seconds, half a second behind. So 1.7 and Smart's Benjamin and Jerry Waffle. It is 67,000 and first share Shraven Chalet. From purple. Let's pick up a half session penalty. Engine is saying that this turbine as it missed the actual source amount. Make sure we don't hinder MRL in any way during qualifying. Coming up for second slam lap. Improve. Does not. Valet doesn't improve either. Nishi. Austria. Improves 6500 to 233.175. Session, maybe station by 1 second, and Johnny Waffle in 67,000 seconds. Irving, Norway. Is that any better, Andrew? Grammy keeping well out of the way, so it's not something to show the hope. Head to Iceman. Sammy doing the correct thing, totally getting out of the way of all the faster drivers. That first in his own lap, but that's what he should do. Nice one, thanks Andrew. So final lap of qualifying. GT a full, almost a full half second. Currently in front of Smarts Major. Doesn't improve, so the whole trips over, doesn't improve, well then Irving. But the action is over for qualifying. Sammy just coming out to pits again. They're just waiting for the slot to wind down. Yes, Andrew, we hope to see you on track with us soon. Check out the shores and look at the sign up centre, and you'll soon be racing with us. Alternatively, just give any of the Gen X guys a shout there, and we'll be able to help you. So qualifying is over. Let's give you a rundown. So on pole position is GC for MRL in with a time of 2:30.293. Well done. That's major in second for MRL and 2:30.716, almost half a second behind. Iceman, Will Hamilton, 2:30.726, only 1/100th of a second behind his teammate. Fourth is Joe Holt, 2:30.846. Sprinter, 2:31.306. Johnny Waffle rounded out the top 6 for MRL in a 2:31.311. Then it's Charlie, first of the Gen X drivers. Very close behind him in 2:31.414. Followed by Darlow Boy, 2:31.493, again very close. Nippy Vince from Austria in 2:32.1. Benchy, 2:32.3. Cammy, 2:32.7. Search engine unfortunately didn't get a chance to qualify. So that's your starting grid. Okay. So here we go, 20 laps of Spa-Francorchamps in the Ardennes Forest. One of our Gen X drivers knows the place very well. Waiting for the lights to come out. That's everybody. Lights are out and they're away. Uniform start by the MRL guys. UCC lead them up the hill. Will Hamilton has trained one play. Silver Hole has trained one play. But Major had a short from 2. Team driving from the off with slipstream traffic. Johnny Waffle in 5th. Splinter 6th. Nicky has changed a couple of places for Gen X in 7th. This is followed by Chalet, followed by Benchy, that's Engine, to James' place, and Sammy, who is driving with a wrist injury. So he is faster than the mediums. Mediums for Iceman. Mediums for Shoulder Hold. In fact, all the MRL drives have started on mediums. Michigan has picked up another pace. He's on the softs. Ballet's on the softs. Another both on the top. Benjamin's on the softs, and Sammy is on the medium. So please, differing scratches from both teams. MRL all on the medium to start with, and Senate all on the bottom, apart from Sammy, who running a different strategy on the medium. Change at the front. Iceman is now in the lead from Shoulder Hold and ECT. Major very well. Mickey has made plates, as I said, on the soft side. Picked up hard set penalty. Let's ride with Charlotte as they go up the hill. To Ledger. His transformation move. Jonesy. And makes it stiff on the soft tyres. Run a little bit off track. Major penalty. And unfortunately loses the place back where he should try. Shows a good job of holding up the Gen X train behind him. Both teams are doing a nice delivery game, and Chalet makes another move. Luther has got a swarm of giant shallows all over him, and looks like Chalet has now got the bus done. Well done, Chalet. And Vinci is also now pulling in. Winter, I suspect, has been given the job of not blocking at all, but holding up the giant scores, which is perfectly viable. Becomes so clearly, which is being done so far. Mentions Allegory having each other around the corner. Check back to the pointy end. Ashman is still in the lead. These guys are playing team games, such streaming. She's now up into fourth on his soft tyres. They appears to be holding up relatively well. Now Nishi is off after the top three. Just stick with this for a second, see if he can make any inroads. We're on board with Niffy. Nishi has to finish up is just over 1.7 seconds. We have Spark Major, another 1.7 seconds back from Nishi. Tony Waffle just over half a second back from his teammate. Raleigh is now 1.5 seconds in seventh. Splinter and Zalo Boy are having a good battle. Splinter's doing a really good job of holding up the Jeanette's drivers, even though he's on a highly compounded tyres. Zalo Boy looks like he's trying to try and size him up for the pass along the Chevron straights. And get a better exit out of Redwell. The toe. Pulls out. Goes purple and takes the pace. Charlie has a little bunny hop in front of him. Well done, Zalo Boy. So let's just do a rundown this as a way through the race. First place we still have Iceman for Midway, followed by Sutherland for Midway. Third place is UGC for Midway. Nicky has now reduced the gap to only just over half a second, and it's of course for Gen X. Sparks Major has now dropped back to over 2 seconds in fifth. Johnny Rothel in sixth and almost another second back. Ballet 1.2 seconds back in seventh. Melbourne now, after picking up that place, is in eighth for Gen X. Winter now back in ninth. Still less than half a second behind Zalaboy. Benji another 1.3 seconds back in 11th. And Sammy 1.8. We up the rear, but doing a cracking job well done Ian. So, closest race probably is here. Nishi still pushing on and hanging on to the back of the midway top three. He is on such a compounded tyre, so should have a better grip on performance. However, the three midway guys do have slow drafting from each other. So there might be a team change of position. The win for Gen X currently has a fast lap race at 2:31.681. And all of the way through the race. Race 14, a Bolsheva Cyan white livery in a gloss finish, and Gen X in their familiar black and yellow, sorry, black and orange matte finish livery. And now Nishi is 7 seconds behind. Tyres starting to look to the most of the way. Was the much better tyre wear on their medium tyres. Major, who started in second, is now in fifth. Ruffle. Sally and Salaberry have not dropped Winter. That's Winter starts at obviously much better condition in the mediums. Salaberry's pushing after a soft stroke well. As is Charlie. Renchi picks up half the penalty. So Gen X was actually pushing after his hard stroke well. Nishi are worse for it. But he is in the 38 and has been pushing. Barry has now taken stride for 7th place. She seems to have picked up another half a second, unless this is the one from the previous lap. So James will take the place here. And she pulls over, so as not to impede his teammates. They come down to the pit stop. The bus stop here. Followed by Sammy. We have the last one. With the owner driver playing a different strategy. So actually handing on really fast to the back of these guys. Back at the front. Faces Pro with Ivan in first. pole and second. And just a reminder that it is a mandatory requirement for every driver to use soft compounds tonight. The compounds are optional. Major picks up the place, changes the place, is now in 4th. Bellabura is in 6th, only half a second behind the Rockall. Now so close vicinity. Spencer is now starting to make a move to regain those places. If the French drivers' tyres are rapidly degrading to a point where they are becoming very difficult to drive, and Spencer goes for the overtake, middle tap, that's on towards. There's two very close battles in close proximity. So the boy goes into the pits. So the first driver to pits. See what he comes out on in a moment. Mazda is now in the MRL sandwich. Bitter as well. Top 3 for Emery. And top 5. Ballet is still holding on very well. Betsy will be pitching fairly soon. There's a bit wide. Hopefully won't pick over penalties of that. Again, get away with the first one, we get away with this one. Let's go. But Nicky after pitching is in 9th place. Bellabura is about 7 seconds behind after pitching also. On Sauce again. That's going to be a 2-stop for Bellabura and for Nishi. Same for Source Engine. And Benchy has gone onto the mediums, so he may be trying a 1-stop. So after those pit stops, Sammy is now up into 8th. At the function. Medway occupying the first 6 positions. Sammy is now the top Generator driver who has yet to stop. None of the Medway drivers have stopped either. The rest of the Genex boys who started on the slots have now stopped. Let's have a little show. Some of our capacities for Genex machines out on another set of softs, so that would be 2 clocks Nishi. Same for Allegory. Same for Source Engine. Charlie has changed to mediums, so we'll be doing a 1 stop, and Renju will be doing a 1 stop also. Find a battle for you. 3 have now changed positions slightly, jumping the hold and Reese GT and swap positions. Iceman has been asked to set the pace for the race so far. Which means red water, as I'm sure everybody knows. And we now have a planned change of leadership for Medway. To keep the gun shaft train going. So it helps each of the trains maintain concentration. So top 3 are now 5.5 seconds ahead of Sparks Major for Medway. There's another 5 seconds ahead of John Waffle, who is less than a second ahead of Spencer. All cars are okay. Spencer to go wide, will not be a penalty, or will he get away with it? He got away with it. Sammy is still out on the mediums. Been a reverse strategy to some of the Genex guys. Deliberate lads. Source Engine 10th, Sally in 11th, and Richie in 12th. So another change of leadership. Jesus has had his sins at the front. Place pole position back. example of the drafts in there. Have safe tires, have safe fuel. And also should provide a slipstream for the guys behind. Pulling out more of a gap now for Smart's measure. 13 seconds between Splinter and Sammy. There's a very respectable gap between Redway and Sammy because that is a light for light strategy so far. He is almost of life of his second set of sauce. Picks up a half second penalty. So we have the pit stops of Redway beginning to start now with Iceman and Showrock. In fact, the entire team apart from Splinter. But Nicky jumps up into second place. Service resumed with the Midway's slipstream train. Now leads the race by over 20 seconds, however he will be hitting this lap as he is out of fuel. Over half distance now. About 3 seconds slower this lap. It's past 6 time. And being hunted down by the Medway below. And Splinter is into the pits. Followed as a threat by Nicky. He is showing again. by Glory for Gen X, now leading the race. Is now in fifth, 2.5 seconds behind UCT, and roughly the same equidistance to last major behind him. So Sanger now in seventh, John Rothwell in eighth. Back next to Nick in the action in front. But the Nebro guys will not have the mark he had the must be coming in this lap. Goes wide. Hopefully he doesn't pick up a penalty for that. Icebound has short machine quicker than expected, and he defending well. It's a little tap from Iceman. Fortunately, puts on the indicator to let the Nebro guys know he's going into the pit, so no need for any runs on these. Iceman regains the lead, followed by Shutterholt. The action, 4th and 5th, rapid now down to 7/10 of a second. Major, some much newer, therefore more effective and efficient crop available in front. much better exit. Doesn't need to worry about it as Zalabo goes into the bits, but flush and stop. And Smart Major goes on into 4. Then we've got now into 6. Raleigh. So Johnny Walker into 5th, Raleigh up into 6th. Windsor in 7th. Raleigh will be going to the end on these medium tyres. Windsor on softs. So County will have the speed and grip advantage in the clock compound and relatively more life. And will be making a move along the channel straight at the version. So Chalet to see whether you can stay with him for as long as it takes for a bit of loss to go off and maybe have a chance to regain the pace towards the end of the race. Goes wide. Doesn't get a penalty. After his second stop, 5 more laps to go. Zalabo the same after his second stop. Engine also. So all the Jonas boys have made 2 stops apart from Sammy and Chalet, who were in 7th and 8th respectively. Find a post racing for you. Team post racing at the head of the field. given for Genesis still has the fastest lap of the race, it's 2:31.681. It's 3 laps to go. 4 laps to go. Apologies. Slightly outbrakes himself on that last try. Megan is now over 8 seconds behind the top 3. Spencer is a further 11.5 seconds back, also followed by Johnny Waffle for Midway. Gunley is now 4 seconds, give or take, behind Johnny Waffle. 18 seconds ahead of Nishi. Gallagher. Slow engine. Family in 11th. So, what if you do this? Actually, just over 1.5 seconds behind. So Iceman just pitted, which will be a purposeful attempt to wrestle the fastest lap away from Nishi. Over the whole quickly leave the race. It was immediately overtaken by his GT. But Judah Holt has the role of second place driver in this race. That's what is his role. Except second policy. Stay the same, or Iceman's going to have to make up a lot of places to pull back the currency instruments of loss just to get one extra, but I'm not sure. You should understand the mentality behind it to try and get the fastest lap as well, but losing many more points to game one. Anyway, so he'll now be passing his fastest lap attempt. Two laps to go. He's up on his fastest lap, but not purple currently. By 3/4 of a second. Gets the fastest lap by 3/4 of a second. Well done, Rob. So, on the final lap. Will had the honour of crossing the line first after spending most of the race in seconds. That would be a nice gesture for the unworthy sons of the team. Or will you see the crossing the line first? Now racing for the line. Ivan holds off in potential guard well done. First succession for Medway recently. It's Smarts Major. There's a takes force, followed by Iceman in fifth. Sonny Waffle rounds out the top six for Medway. And Charlie, great effort, only a few seconds behind for Chenex. Another boy, only a few seconds behind in eighth. Chenex. Ninth, Nishi Chenex. Association, well done. And Sammy, oh no, it's picked up half a second on the last lap, so we'll all to 12. So 11 to 12 chance for Renchi and Sammy. So well done everybody. Congratulations to the podium and to Ivan for the victory. A great team performance by Midway. Great team performance and great character shown by Gen X. So to bring you the results, in first place for Medway with Cyril Holt in 51 minutes, 51.907. Second place GCC. Third, Smarts Major. Fourth, Splinter 117. Iceman in fifth. Also getting the fastest lap of 2 minutes 30.938. Sonny Roppel with the fastest lap of 233.341. Then first was Jeanette Schreiber Strale with a great drive with a fastest lap of 232.6. Salaboy 232.4 in 8th. Nikki in 9th. First Ancient in 10th. Renchi in 11th. And Sammy for Gen X. In 12th. All for Gen X. Really would like to advertise for drivers perhaps, but there you go. Anyway, thank you to both teams. Congratulations to Midway and great character shown by Gen X. Thanks everybody for listening and we'll catch you next time.